Joining me now is Jason Barnard. He is the president and CEO at Foremost Clean Energy. And we have David Cates. He is the CEO of Denison Mines, which is the largest shareholder of Foremost at just under 20%. Gentlemen, great to see you both.
Thanks,
Amazing to be here, Mark. Yeah.
Jason, let's start with you. It was in September that the company arranged what you call a transformational deal, earn-in agreement with Denison for 10 uranium properties in the Athabasca Basin. So give us an overview of the strategy here.
Yes, the strategy is we're a clean energy company, so we have had good success with our lithium assets, but we felt we would move to this transformational transaction with Denison because of our look forward to the uranium market. So I feel that we're in a secular bull in the uranium market. Also, there is a supply deficit. So very good commodity to be in, and what with being able to do a transaction on 10 properties, some drill ready, discovery ready, with Denison, who's now our partner, and can bring technical expertise, financial assistance. It was the right deal to do, and I'm very happy we did it.
Now, David, you've said that these properties just weren't getting enough attention in the Denison portfolio, so you were looking to partner with somebody. You wound up with Foremost. Why were they the best partner?
Yeah, Mark, a little bit of a story around this. Our company's focused on mining and development of advanced stage projects in the Athabasca Basin. And that's really our focus for generating value for our shareholders. And what we realized is that we had quite a large portfolio of exploration projects that had a lot of attractive targets, but that were not going to kind of make the cut when it came to our allocation of capital. We've got shareholders that are very focused on us spending money only on development. But we realize in the long run, making discoveries is tough, and we want to be able to explore these properties. And so the idea was really to amplify our exposure to discovery by finding a good partner that would actually work the properties. And so with Foremost, quite an incredible transition for the company, going from lithium exploration to uranium exploration, but doing it with a portfolio of properties that now probably envies most of the other explorers in the region, because they've taken things that we've worked on for many years that are well situated. What we loved about Foremost, multiple factors, but I think the thing that really stood out was the effort that they put in to get a NASDAQ listing. We have an incredibly large shareholder base in the United States, trading on DNN, where we're listed on the NYSE American.
Right.
And to find an exploration-focused company that'll now be focused in the Athabasca Basin on uranium that's also U.S. listed, that's rare. There isn't another one of those, and we just see so much potential for the pairing of our name and their name. And the last part was really the willingness that Jason and his team had to commit to work the assets. Many parties interested in our portfolio of exploration properties, many of which were just focused on building a promotional company with a vehicle to warehouse properties. Well, that doesn't do anything for us. We want to make the discovery. And so we came to terms with Jason on something that really shows a willingness to actually work the properties so we can make that discovery.
All right, very interesting. And Jason, you said these are advanced properties, so you're kind of ahead of the game, ahead of a lot of your peers. And so you released some drilling results for Hatchet Lake. You found had multiple intercepts. So give us a few of the highlights, if you could, of the recent drilling.
Well, the recent drilling was able to prove up the hypothesis, the theory, the working back to the unconformity where you find your uranium discoveries. And then you can further find how large these discoveries are. So if we are, we announced today that we are going to continue with about 8 more holes. So obviously we want to follow up on the past 4 holes, which we feel were very positive. And what it's done, those last holes, is prove up that we should go in there and continue vectoring back to find the discovery at Hatchet Lake.
So immediate follow-up at Richardson and Tuning Fork, and what are the plans for the other properties as well?
Well, The other properties, Murphy Lake South, we hope to permit this property quite soon. And what you'll see is that we'll go in and drill there at Murphy Lake. We're looking at CLK also in the summer. We've got $6.5 million to spend. We recently raised $10.5 million, and our budget, and we spoke of that today, is $6.5 million to go and try to find discovery on these properties that, yes, they've been in with Denison for quite some time. They've done a lot of work on them. We're very lucky to be sharing a technical team at Denison. Their VPX is actually a consultant of our company. His name's Andy Yuckaluk. He's a great guy to work with. And our chief geologist, Jody DeRouge of DeRouge Exploration, they've worked together before. They've both been involved in discoveries. So we're going to go in there and spend $6.5 million. So you'll see lots of news, lots of drill programs, and lots of future, hopefully good news releases with hints of, or even a discovery of uranium.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, Mark, I was just going to say, what's so exciting about this portfolio is that discovery-ready state on many of the properties. And the results at Hatchet that Foremost announced recently, I mean, there's uranium mineralization. Now, I've been in the business a long time now, and have worked with many geologists, and the Athabasca Basin is, of course, prolific. And many targets have a lot of great ingredients to find and maybe make a discovery. You know, one of the most difficult ingredients to find is uranium mineralization.
Right.
So when you look at a property like Hatchet, where there's historical mineralization drilled over multiple different target areas, and then more recent actual uranium mineralization, like we've not hit, the mother lode on this property yet, but to have uranium mineralization is actually quite distinct. You'll have other juniors that are out there talking about pathfinder elements or structure and all of these things, which are of course important, but they don't have mineralization. And so one of the best indicators to find a uranium deposit is being on and pursuing mineralized results. And I think that's sometimes lost on a company like Foremost, because people don't necessarily think, it's a pretty new company to the uranium space, they don't necessarily think that they would have assets this advanced.
Right.
Immediate follow-up at Hatchet, well, we're pursuing mineralized results. How many others are actually doing that in our region? It's not that many.
And
Yeah.
David, maybe you could, sorry, do you want to say something there? No.
No, yeah. So sometimes that's lost on investors. The headline is that Foremost 10 properties with a company, a $2 billion uranium development company that's developing a mine, and so that's the headline. But the sort of hidden is these properties are phenomenal properties that have had a lot of work done on, millions and millions of dollars over many, many years. They are discovery ready, and so that's sort of maybe not understood. And as we come out with news releases and sort of inform our investors, maybe they'll start to realize, hey, this isn't just, somebody who stakes some properties. These are real good, and we should look further.
Right. And David, can you flesh out the concept and the whole idea that the technical teams are working together and the benefits of that? And Jason mentioned some of the pedigree of some of the people working on it.
Well, think about the concept, right? We want to be part of a discovery, and a discovery that we wouldn't have made because we probably wouldn't have worked the property when we're allocating our resources with our focus on development. But we want to make the discovery. So we're taking our team, who has the history and knowledge on these properties and all the millions of dollars and multiple drill holes and meters of drilling and geophysics. Why wouldn't we put our team together with Jason's team to maximize the outcome we can have on these properties? And so that's really the concept, is that these are not assets that we've disposed of at all. These are assets that we want to nurture in Foremost to make sure that good exploration happens and a discovery is made. And so Jason talked about our VP Exploration, Andy Yuckaluk. He's serving as technical advisor. I sit on the board of Foremost. We have another Denison executive sitting on the board. So we're really sponsoring this company, not just at a corporate level, but technically. And it's all about getting access to the data and the information that we've accumulated and the knowledge to make sure that the exploration dollar that goes in next is really well informed to make that discovery.
I want to keep it going with you, David, and get Jason's opinion as well on the uranium sector itself. When you pull back the lens on Denison shares over 5 years, I think as of today, up maybe 325%, very solid. We know uranium stocks had a solid run the last 18 months or so, some consolidation lately. So what's your current view of the overall cycle?
Well, it's been an incredible run for the sector, but it really is the beginning of something. And the fundamentals around uranium are stronger today than they were a year ago. And yet the equity valuations on the companies much lower today than they were a year ago. And I think that's a really unique opportunity. We had many investors who were paying attention to the space at the beginning of 2024 that felt they couldn't invest. It was too hot. And look, commodity markets go up, they go down, they often go in mini cycles. Consolidation happens. It's actually very healthy. We have an incredible opportunity now where markets more broadly have softened. The spot price of uranium is on the focus of many people, has had a bit of weakness, and the equities have really chased and underperformed to the downside. But that's the opportunity. I mean, we fundamentally have a weaker supply picture today. We have restarts in the United States that people were counting on that have been failing, struggling. I mean, mining is not an easy business. And then on the demand side, we have new announcements almost every month of major new investment or new markets considering nuclear energy deployment or growth amongst existing fleets. So as simple as demand is better, supply is worse, but we have a slightly softer uranium price. And I do think that's mostly to do with the rhetoric around the Ukraine conflict and a view that peace with Russia would somehow lead to a flooding of the uranium market by Russia. I don't subscribe to that actually occurring because Russia is not stockpiling U-308. Russia is a consumer of U-308. They don't have a warehouse filled with uranium that they did not put into the market. They use their own. Anything they don't use is no doubt gone to China. If we have a resolution of the war, and even if Russia is welcome back to the West, there is not a stockpile of uranium to flood the market. So I do think we are seeing a financial trade going on here that might be as simple as when the war started, the price of uranium went up. Mm-hmm. When the war ends, the price of uranium should go down. The reason it went up is not related to what would happen on resolution. And I think people need to do a little bit more homework on that, but then they'll see that we do have an opportunity right now where the market is perhaps traded irrational to the actual fundamentals of our sector.
So Jason, against that backdrop, maybe you could sum up the investment case for Foremost Clean Energy.
Well, thanks, Mark. I did mention that sort of the dark horse headline is how phenomenal these properties are. And then if you also look at, you're thinking of uranium, maybe you think I should look at some of these companies. You want to pick a company like Foremost because we do have the backing of a $2 billion uranium developer. So that takes a little risk out of the situation. Denison took about $1.8 million in our last financing, so they financially can sort of de-risk the situation. But technically, if we are going to, on 10 properties, some drill ready to some discovery ready, if we're going to go have some success, well, you want a partner like Denison. And what people might not also understand is Denison's Phoenix mine is ISR type of mining situation, which is low capex and very profitable. It also, you can go and mine with a smaller size of a reserve. Not that their reserve is small, but if we're looking for one, well, now we've got a partner that owns 30% of our properties. They're used to developing ISR technology. No one's done it in Canada. They're about to do it. So what a great partner to then, for Foremost's sake, as we own 70%, when the JV is finally formed and we've earned into all of our rights, what a great partner to have. So that sums up the investment. Because if you're out there buying uranium, we're on the NASDAQ, and if big waves of buying come, as headlines technology companies getting involved, buying power, buying nuclear power. You want to be there, like with Denison and with Foremost FMST on the NASDAQ, to go in and take advantage of that investment opportunity.
All right, very good. Final thoughts, David?
Mark, we're really excited to be partnered with Foremost. These assets needed attention that we couldn't give them, and Jason and his team are ready to make sure that we can make the discovery on those properties.
All right, exciting stuff. We'll be following. Thank you both.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mark.
Okay, Jason and David. Jason Barnard, he is the CEO of Foremost Clean Energy. David Cates, CEO, Denison Mines.